We have the Lekato guitar amp. This says it's the JA05G. It's around that size. The next one is the Donner M3 guitar amplifier. You can tell that they're quite differently sized. The good thing about this one, that one doesn't have, is that this one can be powered by batteries. Now, the batteries used are AA's, and they're single use. It's not rechargeable, which is a bummer, but for something like this, that's still pretty good. So this can be used by battery, or you can use the relatively short cable to plug that in. And this is 0.5 amps, which is very low power for something like this. So I don't expect it to do so well with the amp. But this has a speaker output if you want to plug in other speakers to this one. It also has the headphones output if you want to listen to it. It has the on button, and it has the looks like the drive button here, and that's the DC import on the back there. So I'll just give a close-up look of that. It's got a pretty nice grill, and then we have the amp itself. That's how big this guy is. This amp plugs into your guitar or bass. We'll see how well it does with the bass. It's about that big. It doesn't have too many options, but it has a pretty nice design on the grill. Look at that, it's like a little flower. This one has the effect button. That one changes between different pedal effects. There's the on button over there, and then we have the tone and volume knobs. So tone and volume knobs instead of perhaps bass or treble. It's just the tone, using all of them in one, I suppose, and the volume, which is, volume. And on the back, it has this relatively sturdy. This hinge is pretty sweet. It doesn't move at all, and it has the plug over here. And just comparing it to the other ones. So if we're looking at these in terms of travel amps, this would be the most travel-y. You could throw this in a backpack, in your pocket even. Maybe you could just keep it connected to your guitar, although I wouldn't do that if it's active, because that'd use up the battery. All right, I think it's about time to plug these babies in, see what they sound like. Turn it on. Turn everything to mid, so we have the drive, level, treble, middle, and bass, all at 5. You can already tell that's a lot quieter. We turn the bass all the way up. Yeah, so the range in this one is maybe like 3/4 or a half of what the range on this one is. Higher volume, and the bass can go lower, the treble can go higher, etc., etc. This doesn't have as much range. That's to be expected. It's about half the size, less than half the size. So I'm gonna mess around with the knobs, see what they do. Level. Still pretty good volume for something of this size, I think. I say it's almost as loud as the as this at full volume with this at full level. Almost as loud. And then the drive knob here. But the drive knob controls how much drive there is when you press the drive button. So let's just. I like that a lot. I like that a lot more. So the fact that this has its own drive knob and it has the drive button here and you can change it. And that's only at 5. At 10, that'll be shaking the whole house. That might be a bit much. And there is a bit of feedback on this too when the drive is all the way up. Yeah, increasing the level and the drive, you can still hear this. All right, time to try the last one over here. Now this one will plug just directly into the guitar itself, so no need to use the cable here. All right, and this has already been charged. You got to keep that charged in. I think it's got a couple hours or more of battery in there, of straight playing. I'm not exactly sure. Plugging that in. And the good thing about this is that you can kind of angle it how you want. Although I don't love how when you're actually playing, the angle of this is kind of, it's not optimal. Here, let's see if we can. So like if you're playing here and you want to change something on a knob here, it's not super easy. I can keep it kind of angled like that, but whatever. All right, pressing the on button or holding it. There we go. And here's our volume knob. That's got pretty good volume for something this small, I gotta say. Not too much feedback either that I'm hearing. Very little. It's got a little bit of feedback, if you can hear that. Barely noticeable. All right, so let's change the tone and see what that. So we do get distortion if we kind of overload it. So because this is so small, we get that distortion when we just give it too much signal. So this is supposed to be a flat tone, but you can hear the distortion there already. It's not what it's supposed to sound like. All right, changing the tone. Maybe it adds a bit of reverb. It changes the tonal quality a bit. I'm not exactly sure how much that changes, but let's change the effects. So this button here, the green button, when I press it, it changes to yellow. This will probably be in the middle. Yeah. Nice. That's the extent of what I can do. That's pretty good. Alright, let's turn the volume down. Try the third effect. And the feedback is a lot louder. For sure. Alright. I really like this little one. It doesn't sound as full as the other one, but you can barely tell, and because it's so small, you can kind of keep this all over the place. And turn it off just like that. Unplug it, just put it in your pocket. And it's so much smaller than the others. Look at that.